Alright, this episode is going to be on the Winged Liberty dime, which is also referred to as the mercury dime. And the reason for that is some people thought that the depiction on the front of the coin was the goddess Mercury. Little funny joke, when I was a kid I thought it was because there was mercury in the coin, but then you realize that it's a liquid metal, so it's kind of hard to have that in the coin. But it was really a winged liberty, and the idea behind it was that the wings crowning her cap were intended to symbolize freedom of thought. So that was the idea behind that. And this coin came about after the barber coin had run its 25 years that Congress made that it needed to run. So after the 25 years, they started making the mercury dime. Actually, they did this a lot. You'll notice in some of the other videos too, like the buffalo nickels, what they do is they overlap them. So actually, when they started this in 1916, they made both barber and mercury dimes because they overlapped them. Alright, now we're going to talk about the design of the coin. The front of the coin has Liberty with a winged cap, and it says "In God We Trust" to the left, has Liberty around the top, and has the initials and the date. The reverse of the coin has a fasces, which is basically a bundle of sticks with an axe head. And some people actually try to collect a full band on the bands that attach the sticks together, and it has some branches, and it says United States of America around the top, one dime on the bottom, and E Corbis Unum. Alright, the designer initials, you will see right here underneath the Y of Liberty. It's a little hard to pick up, but it has an AW, so it's in between the Y of Liberty and the date. You'll see an AW for Adolf Weinman. Alright, now the designer of this coin is Adolf Weinman. And just a little bit about him, he designed both the Winged Liberty Mercury dime, which is one of these, and also the Walking Liberty half dollar. He was known as a architectural sculptor, American sculptor. His son was also a sculptor. Not really much about him. It was just, this was one of them deals that happened a lot where they stopped using the just the mint engravers, and they brought in a lot of sculptors during this time, and he depicted what they wanted to see. They wanted to see nice coins, and this design also on the Walking Liberty half dollar was later reused for the Silver Eagle. So his influence is still out there. So that's a little bit of detail about the designer of this coin. Alright, specifications of the mercury dime. They were 2.5 grams, 90% silver, 10% copper. They were 0.07234 ounces of pure silver, so just under 1/10 of an ounce. And they were 17.9 millimeters in diameter and have a reeded edge. So basically the same as the barber dime. Alright, mint marks and location. They made these at the Philadelphia, which would have had no mint mark, the Denver, which would have been a D, and the San Francisco, which would have been an S, and that one's just a P, so I won't show you that one. I'll show you this one. This one is an MS66, PCGS graded. The mint mark is, it's hard to pick up on camera, but it's right underneath the Fossies. You'll see this little mark right there. You'll see an S, so it's on the back of the coin underneath the Fossies, in between the 1 cent and the first part of United. Alright, mintages. Most of them were in the many millions. We're talking 20 million plus. Some of them were even up into the 300-400 million range. Like this one right here, very common date. These go just for the melt value because they're so common. But there are a few that did have some low mintages. Like the 16D had 264,000. The 21 had a little over 1.2 million. The 21S had 1,080,000, and the 26S had about 1.5 million. So those are going to be ones to look out for. The rest of them are all pretty high up there. Key dates to the series. Again, these kind of go along with the mintages. The 16D is going to be the biggest one. That's the biggest killer of the entire series. Most people can't get one of those, and it's very good to get one of those that's certified. Then we have a 21, the 21S, and the 26S, which are the ones that we talked about in the mintages. And there's also a couple of varieties, which is the 42 and the 42 Denver. Both had a 42/41 variety of the date, and also the 1945S had a micro S variety. And the other thing with the key dates is in lower grades, all of them are very common, but in higher grades, some of them can be a little bit more money. That's where you want to go into a list, see how many are left in higher grades. Like these ones right here, like this is a 1945. It's actually fairly common in a high mint grade, and it's because there were just so many of them made. So just keep an eye out for that. And always to get books, get information, do as much research as you can. That's really the name of the game when it comes to this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed another episode, and see you again next time.